Welcome to 30k channel. I'm your host David, and again I'm joined with Boris and Julian. Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Afternoon.
We are back for game 2 of your 3-part campaign, JANUSSEN'S Hope. Oh yeah, I remember, that's a good start. Where are we in the story, Boris?
All right, well, game 1, it was a tight fought battle, but the Night Lords just squeaked it with their dastardly tricks. So 1-0 to the Night Lords. We're now up to 1k, and we are fighting this assault mission rather than escalation, or sorry, an encounter.
Okay.
And other than that, we're playing a pretty standard sabotage mission. 3 objectives on the board. And we have to, the Scars have decided they're going to blow up the reactors that the Night Lords seized last turn, or last game rather. They won the game, took the initiative, seized the facility, so now we're sabotaging it.
Okay. Julian, your force has gone up a notch. You've got a bit more serious now. You've got some Terminators.
Yeah, we've bulked up a bit more. We've got larger squads. The veterans, they've got 10 men. The Terminators are on the board. I'm hoping they're going to be able to get through the increased Breacher squad. That is pretty scary.
Yeah, you know, it's always a tough one on mortality because you've got tons of bolters firing down corridors against Terminators, and you're always praying and hoping that those twos come up. But you know, as Boris mentioned before we sort of started filming here, we played a few games, and Terminators rolling ones is not cool, is it?
Yeah, we all have those special dice that just like to roll ones on a 2-up save.
Yeah, I definitely have an extremely bad
case
of that.
Should be right. Should be good fun. And Boris, tell me about your force. Where have you expanded?
Well, we've leaned hard into the breacher element, so we're Zone Mortalis assault force, right of war. So as long as they are in base to base, those breacher shields will be giving them a 4-up in combat. Should be quite tough, hopefully.
And there's 15 of them now.
15 plus a Delegatus in the squad,
yes.
Snuck in. We've got 2 squads of Seekers with some plasma. We've still got Volkite. We've got some outflanking veterans.
All right.
So there's actually less than half of my army on the board at the moment. So we're going to be using kind of Night Lords and White Scars, both kind of strike from the shadows and retreat in different ways. So I think we're both going to be relying on reserve rolls and bringing a lot of units on the board. But yeah, I've got one sort of heavy hitter and the rest are quite light. So hopefully they won't die before they get to do anything.
And as you mentioned, the Night Lords are defending and you're attacking. So We've got 3 objectives surrounded by their board. We've kind of got a couple of computers and like a domed kind of VAT kind of system. We'll put a photo of those up so you can see exactly what you're after. I think it's going to be a good game. The lists have definitely increased the intensity. Who's going first?
At the moment, Night Lords, you deployed first. Went first.
First.
We seized last game, and
double
it was quite useful.
seize?
Let's see if we can do a double seize, because it would be amazing to get our reserves on before the Night Lord reserves. So either Storm +1 to the roll for White Scars. It's a 5 or a 6.
It's a 6.
I kind of always want to say sorry, but I'm behind on campaign points, so I'm not going to say sorry. So 2 6s in a row. I've used all my luck, clearly, as per last game, but I'll take that. Yeah, White Scars turn 1.
Advancing through the dark.
Warlord for the White Scars is a Delegatus console. He is equipped with Artifice Armour, a Refractor Field, a Bolt Pistol, and a Master-crafted Power Glaive. First and only Elite's choice is a 5-man Veteran Tactical Squad. The Sergeant has been upgraded with Artifice Armour, a Bolt Pistol, and a Lightning Claw. The rest of the squad are armed with bolt guns, and the Veteran tactic is Stalkers. Second fast attack choice is a 5-man Seeker squad. The Strike Leader is equipped with Artifice Armour, and 2 of the Seekers have been upgraded with Combi Plasmas. The first troops choice for the White Scars is a 15-man Breacher Siege squad. The Sergeant has been upgraded with Artifice Armour, a Power Fist, and a Breacher Charge. The rest of the squad is equipped with Breaching Shields and Bolt Guns. The second troops choice is a 5-man Tactical Support squad. They have no upgrades other than being equipped with Volkite Charges.
Leading the Night Lord's army, a Delegatus, equipped with an Ostraman Chain Glaive, Artificer Armour, and a Combat Shield. First troops choice for the Night Lords, an 8-man Terror Squad. The Sergeant has Artificer Armour and an Ostraman Chain Glaive, and the entire unit has Volkite Charges. Second Night Lord's troops choice is an identical Terror Squad, an Ostraman Chain Glaive and Artificer Armour on the Sergeant, and The entire squad has Volkite charges. First elite's choice is a 10-man veteran tactical squad. The sergeant has artificer armor and an Ostraman chain glaive, and there are 2 flamers in the unit. Final elite's choice, a 6-man Legion Terminator squad. The sergeant has a chain fist and a combi plasma. 2 of the unit have lightning claws and combi plasma, and the rest have combi bolters and power fists.
White Scars turn 1 movement. Buoyed by our success, we have made the decision to be a bit more aggressive than we were planning to be. The Volkite tactical support squad has moved straight towards that door. If we can beat the enemy Tartarus squad to the punch, our shooting or melee might be able to kill that objective, scoring us 1 early on out of the 3. And the only other unit to move was our large tactical breacher squad, pushed forward 6 inches. We infiltrated slightly thanks to the Warlord trait. We've moved just around the corner. We have that veteran squad staring us down with some nasty weapons in it. However, if we can move forward and beat them to the punch to this tactical objective, we might be able to destroy that and give us 2. We've got to be a little bit more aggressive, but the further back we hang, the further back we might be kept in sort of stuck in combat if they make it into melee. So other than that, it's nice and simple, and we'll move on to shooting. White Scars turn 1 shooting. Easy decision to make over here. The tactical squad, support squad with Volkite ran, rolled a 6, which is great. So they now entered that room with the objective in. Next turn, their Volkite might be able to pip it and destroy the objective, but if not, we can move forward. That's really great news. Really tough decision on the Breacher squad. We were undecided about whether to sit still. We could just about see 2 of the veteran squad with our guns, so we could have fired a couple of bolters, but we would have been stuck in that choke point. So instead we ran, rolled a 5 and moved 4 inches up and just brought ourselves around that corner really close to that objective, which is excellent news. We'll probably be charged next turn, but we spread out a little bit, but are still in base to base for our bonus from the Rite of War. And hopefully those flamers from the enemy squad will be slightly less effective, and we'll still be able to weather the storm and then either receive the charge or hit the objective next turn.
Night Lords, turn 1 movement. The veteran squad moved up under the cover of the Terror Assault Rite of War, getting ready to put some shots into those breaches over there. The Terminator squad with the Delegatus, they've opened the door, marched into the corridor, and are getting ready to madly defend the other objective. Night Lords, turn 1 shooting. The Terminators and the Delegatus get to run forwards a whole 7 inches thanks to the Terror Assault and the Master of the Vanguard Warlord trait, both adding 1 inch to movement. The Veteran squad, 10-man with Flamers, is going to attack the breaches. We've laid out the templates. We've got 6 hits with the Flamers, wounding on 4s, but they're shredding thanks to Zone Mortalis. So that's 3 2s, re-roll those. 1 more wound, so that's 4 wounds, 4 saves for the White Scars.
Okay, Sergeant isn't anywhere near, so we'll just do these all at the same time. 3s. We fail 1, but hardened armor allows us to re-roll against template weapons, so re-roll that fail, that is a 1 still. So that is 1 breacher dead.
The rest of the veteran squad is going to open up with their bolt pistols. They've got 8 more shots. That's pretty good. I missed with 2, so 6 hits. Also pretty good. That is 5 wounds. Might put myself out of a charge here.
All right, we have 4 before the sergeant, or 3 rather before the sergeant. So we do 3 at a time. All saved. 2. 1 more breacher dies. Not too bad overall.
Night Lords, first turn assault. The veteran squad is going to charge the breachers. It's a 7-inch charge, and the breachers get to make their reaction fire check.
All right, 4 under.
Yes.
It's the 4th or 5th one we failed there. Oh well. Okay, we counted up. We have 14 bolt gun shots rapid firing before we're charged. So hitting on 6s instead of 3s. Only 2 hits. That was would have been great if that was on regular hits. 4s to wound. 1 whole wound.
1 save to take for the veteran squad, which they promptly fail. The Night Lord casualties have not affected the charge range. This is 7 inches. Let's see if we make it. We do, with change, 11. Thanks to the Terror Assault Rite of War, the Night Lords get +1 initiative, which means they're striking simultaneously with the Delegatus of the White Scars. The Sergeant of the veteran squad has issued a challenge which the Delegatus has accepted. We're going to start with that. The veterans are weapon masters. The sergeant's got Nostrum chain glaive. He's hitting on 4s with 2 attacks. That's no hits.
Unfortunate. Okay, the Delegatus is going to strike back. Weapon skill 5 as well, so 4s to hit with 3 attacks. Master crafted on the power glaive. Still nothing. And then strength 5, so 3s to wound. They did move 6, so swift action allows them to reroll that 1. Okay, that is 1 wounding hit at AP2.
No save for the sergeant. He's lost the challenge. That's 1 kill to the White Scars. The rest of the veteran squad is going to attack with their bolt pistols and chainswords. There's 8 of them remaining. They get 3 attacks each, 24. Thanks to the weapon masters, the veteran squad is hitting on 3s. 20 hits. The veterans are wounding on 4s. Have to re-roll that one. No. 12 saves for the breaches.
Wow. Okay, 12 saves to take. We have 3 before we get to the sergeant with Artificer, so we'll take these 3 at a time. Okay, so we'll take these 3 at a time. Okay, that's 1 dead. 2 at a time.
2 more.
Okay, that's 3 dead. That's really bad news. We'll do 7 remaining lookout sirs. Oh, okay, so the sergeant has to take 5. 2 go onto the squad, of which those are passed. And then the sergeant will do 1 at a time in case he fails 1. 2 up Artificer, passed, 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 and passed. Luckily, he shrugs off 5. So that is 3 breaches dead at initiative 5. That's pretty brutal. After that brutal round of combat, the breaches then get to strike at initiative 4. The sergeant will step up with his 1-use breaching charge. He has to roll to hit, and if so, it clips everyone in front of him, as it were. So 4 to hit. Oh, out the dice tray, we're getting excited.
That's dice.
That is a hit. Okay, so we'll see how many it clips and get back to you. Amazingly, that breaching charge hit. It landed right bang on the Marine right in front of the sergeant and clipped 5 veteran Marines, which is fantastic. Strength 8, so we are 2s to wound. Double 1, however, swift action does come into effect as they move their full distance last turn. Rerolling 1s to wound. That is 5 dead veterans. Next up are the Breacher Marines. None of them are in base-to-base contact thanks to the amazingly effective breacher charge from the sergeant there. So we'll straight on to the end of combat.
Thanks to the horrific close combat, the veterans have lost by 3, so taking a test. They've also lost their sergeant, so on an 8, I'm looking for a 5 or less. Predictably, that's a failure.
Okay, initiative off. The White Scars are initiative 5 on the Delegatus, plus 3. Okay, Night Lords rolled a 1, that's fantastic. So we do catch and sweep that veterans unit. After that, the breaches will consolidate 5 inches. Wow.
End of turn 1 for the Night Lords. Did not go as expected. The veterans managed to get themselves completely wiped out. They've lost that combat, so control of that corner of the board is up to the White Scars at the moment. On this side, the Terminators have managed to potentially secure the objective, but we'll wait and see what happens for turn 2 of the White Scars.
White Scars turn 2, start of the turn. We were really lucky to do that well in turn 1. It's given us a real advantage to head for those objectives. We're going to record the reserves rolls as they are really key and they might allow us some really good board control. So we have 3 units to bring on. The first will be the Seeker Squad with 3 Combi Plas in, and we're going to use the Eye of the Storm rule from our Legion Astartes rule to add +1 to this reserve roll. So on a 2 up, they come in. That's pretty classic. That's a 1. So the second Seeker Squad on a 3 up. Okay, second 1, lovely. And lastly, we have the Veteran Squad, a 4. Okay, they do come in. We'll quickly determine board edge. 5 or 6 we choose, so we'll have a think and decide where we want to bring them on. Start of turn 2 movement proper for the White Scars. The 5-man veteran squad just came in from the side that the breaches are on. We've opened that door, and later in the turns we're going to open the next one and then head for the last objective that is uncontested at the moment, which could be good. Maybe we force the Night Lords to dispatch units to deal with them. The Breacher Squad with the Delegatus have moved up and they're just right next to that objective. We should be able to either throw a crack grenade at it or charge it and kill it in the melee phase. And lastly, the Volkite Tactical Support Squad have moved up near that objective. They are going to fire all their guns at it. They might be able to glance it to death. And if not, they will try and perhaps charge it and use crack grenades on it again. They're well aware they're probably not long for this world.
with the Terminators and Delegatus on this side of the board. But and that was another reason why the veterans decided not to infiltrate or outflank from this direction. But if we can get that objective and the one with the breaches, we're already 2 ahead, and that puts us in a comfortable lead for the rest of the game. White Scars turn 2 shooting, and we're starting with the Volkite support squad. They're going to open up on the objective in their side of the board. We have 10 shots hitting on 3s. Drop 3, not too bad. It is strength 5, armor value 11 all round, so we need a 6 to glance it. Oh, classic. Okay, not a single one. Next up, the Breacher squad. A single member will throw a crack grenade at the objective before charging it. 3s to hit. Okay, that objective doesn't want to go down. We'll have to charge. White Scars turn to assault phase, and we need to kill these objectives. So we're going to start with the Volkite squad. They will make a 3-inch charge through cover, so we need a 5 on 2 dice into that objective. 6 just. We hit automatically against a static fortification, so we have 5 strength, 6 hits. We need 5s and 6s to glance and 10. That is 1 glance, only just, so we managed to wreck that objective. Next, the Breacher squad made their charge of 2 inches into the second objective. We're just going to skip straight to initiative 1 with the Sergeant. He has 3 attacks, hits automatically, strength 8. We need 3s to glance. Yeah, that's 2 penetrating hits, and that objective is also claimed. That's really great news. End of White Scars turn 2. That was a really successful turn. Killing 2 objectives was excellent. We brought 1 squad on from reserve, which isn't too great, but it means we have 2 more still to play with. We've claimed 2 objectives, which is great. We're in the lead on the scoring of the objectives. We know this Volkite squad might not be long for the world, but they've done their job, and we can sort of ignore that flank now, which is useful. We're just going to have to get ready and see what the Night Lords can throw at us in turn 2.
Night Lords, turn 2, reserves. The Terror squad has pulled a Batman and come in right behind the Veteran squad. They're ready to unleash their Martian Death Rays. And over on the other side, the Terminators are moving up. We've possibly lost this. Our only opportunity is to go for a complete destruction of the opposing force. Night Lords, turn 2, shooting phase. The Terminators are going to unleash their combi bolters against the Volkite support squad. Including the bolt pistol from Delegatus, I've got 13 shots. 6 of these are combi bolters re-rolling, which is good. That's 6 hits. 6 more just normal combi bolters. 3 more hits, that's 9. And a bolt pistol, hitting on 2s. That's a hit. 10 hits, wounding on 4s. Not so great. That is 4 wounds for the White Scars.
Okay, the Sergeant, rather foolishly, is up front, so we'll do 4 lookout sirs, pass 3, fail 1, so his lookout sir, 3 up, armor save, passed, and then 3 on the squad, 3 up, failed 2, so 2 support marines die. After that deluge of fire, the support squad need to take a leadership check after losing 25%. Wow, okay, 10 on 2 dice, so they are running 2d6. 8 inches. We'll see what happens. After measuring it up, that does take them off the nearest board edge, so that will destroy the unit. Really unfortunate.
Second part of the Night Lord's shooting phase. The Terror squad is going to level its Volkites into the Veterans. Let's see what happens. 16 shots, hitting on 3s, re-rolling the 1s. Which is good. 4 misses, 3 re-rolls. Let's see how those do. 1 more miss. So that is 11 hits. Now we are wounding on 3s and re-rolling the 1s.
Ooh.
No need. That is 11 wounds.
Wow, that is a lot of hits. Poor little veterans. We have 3 at a time before the Sergeant, so we'll do these 3 at a time. On 3s, okay, so 1 dead already. Next 3, 2 dead, 1 at a time. He's fine. He's dead as well. So that's 3 dead. Onto the Sergeant. We'll do 3 lookout sirs. So the squad has to take 1, which is passed, and the Sergeant has to take 2 artificer armor saves. Fails 1. That's really unfortunate. So the Sergeant also dies.
The White Scars took 4 wounds, so that's 4 more deflagrates, re-rolling the 1s. Doesn't matter, that's 4 more wounds.
Okay, 4 3 up armor saves to keep the lone man alive.
Pass all.
And he's done it.
Yeah. Having suffered that torrent of fire, the poor remaining veteran will have to take a leadership check on 8. Passes on a double 2.
End of turn 2 for the Night Lords. There's no assaulting. The tactical support squad has been wiped out by the Terminators, and the rest of them ran off the board. The Terra Marines have come in from reserve. They don't get to assault, and they've managed to take the veterans down to one lone man, who amazingly has passed his leadership test and is now facing them off.
White Scars turn 3 movement, start of the turn, rolling for reserves, and both Seeker squads came in, which is great news. The first Seeker squad we brought on sort of in our own deployment zone, just moved on 6 inches there. It'll be able to keep an eye out downrange, or perhaps move right and keep an eye out on those veteran or Terra Marines that have just appeared. We're debating coming on right on the edge of the board just here and firing all our plasma, but we might not kill the squad, and those Terra Marines would certainly kill the Seekers afterwards, and we're trying to keep our squads alive for later in the game. The solo veteran Marine, lucky to survive. We attempted to keep him right in front of the terrorist squads again, and maybe shoot and charge, tie them up for a turn, but we're going to play the objective and make the Night Lords decide which way they're going to go. So we moved the breaches right up to that small gap and forming a shield wall, so they can either come towards us to fight the breaches, or they can chase the lone veteran and try and stop him from going towards this objective on the right. Lastly, the second Seeker squad, outflanked, came on and rolled for this board edge, so it had to come on this side. We'll probably get some decent shots against the Terminator squad. We have some combi plas in that unit, and they are our chosen unit that has been marked for death. However, once that's spent, if the unit is not completely annihilated, that Seeker squad will probably be killed. So not great, but that objective is already dead. So we're in a strong position. We have to see what our shooting will do, and whether or not we can survive the charges coming in later in the game. White Scars turn 3 shooting. We'll start with the run moves. We ran the veteran Marine. Unfortunately only got 1, so he stumbled an inch away from that terror squad. The Seeker squad on the other flank, however, rolled a mighty 6 and moved up just to later in the turn cover both the central corridor and just behind this breacher squad. The Seekers firing at the Terminator unit. They are their marked for death target, which is fantastic for us. Preferred enemy against the Terminator unit, effectively. We have 3 combi plas that will fire. 2 from the regular Seekers, so double shot each of these. 2s to hit. Luckily they are preferred enemy, so re-rolling those 2 1s. Still 1-1, so that is 3 hits and 1 overheat. We'll do the overheat now quickly. 3 1s in a row. So one of the Seekers kills himself, but it is 3 hits, and then the Sergeant, that's a scatter dice, excuse me. That's 1 hit, 1-1, preferred enemy. Okay, finally. So that is 5 hits against the Terminators, and 1 Seeker dies. 5 hits against the squad, strength 7, 2s to wound. Okay, and 1-1, so preferred enemy. Okay, yeah, great. That is 5 wounding hits.
5 wounds to take on the Terminator squad. There is 1 lone Terminator before we get to the Delegatus, so 1 at a time with a 5-up invuln. That's a pass. That's a fail. So 1 Terminator is dead, and now we've got 3 lookout sirs. Amazingly, I failed 2 of those. The Delegatus only has a combat shield, but he is in cover, so it's 2 5-ups for him. Pass 1, lose 1. So he takes a single wound, because it's only strength 7. And 1 more save on the Terminators, which has failed. Okay. 2 Terminators die, Delegatus takes a wound.
Following up the good work from the plasma, we'll fire 2 Seekers with special issue ammunition. The Tempest rounds, blasts, after scatters calculated, landed 4 hits on the unit. Strength 3, so 5 to wound. 2 wounds, but we do have Shred in Zone Mortalis. Okay, no extra, but that is 2 wounding hits. Delegatus is first.
So 2 lookout sirs on the Delegatus. Passes those both. 2 2-up saves on the General Terminators. Pass those both.
Next up, we have the breaches. 5 of them can see that terror squad that emerged and decimated the veterans. So we'll try a couple of cheeky bolt gun shots. 5 shots. Only 2 hits, but forced to wound. No wounds, unfortunate. White Scars enter turn 3. Really not bad overall again, can't complain. We have a lot of models on the board. That Terror Squad is looking very scary. It's going to be a sort of immovable object versus unstoppable force when it comes into range of that Breacher Squad, if they go for it. We do have the second Seeker Squad on the board, which is great, and a lone veteran heading for the third and final objective. We did some good work against these Terminators, killing 2 and wounding the Delegatus, which was really great news. But losing 1 to Overheats is pretty classic, and they may not be long for this world. But they've done their damage, and we've made good work towards the objectives. If we can hold this sort of board state for the rest of the game, we will be happy. Just going back retroactively, we did roll for night fighting as per Terror Assault at the beginning of this turn. It didn't continue as it wasn't all of a 6. And finally, the Terminators, having lost 25%, take a morale check, and they did indeed pass.
Night Lords, turn 3, reserves and movement. The second Terror Squad has successfully managed to find their way onto the board. They come up behind this Seeker Squad, hoping to take them out. The first Terror Squad is going to engage the Breacher Marines. For the moment, we've got to risk letting that one vet get away. In the far corner, the Terminator Squad and the Delegatus are moving up to eradicate these pesky Seekers. Night Lords, turn 3 shooting. The Terror Squad that's just come on from reserve is going to shoot at the Seekers. They've all got Volkite charges, so it's going to be 16 shots, hitting on 3s, re-rolling the 1s. Which sucks for me. Alright, 4 misses, so I'm down to 12 hits. Wounding on 3s, re-rolling the 1s. And again! 3 failed wounds. That's 9 wounds. 9 saves for the White Scars.
So 9 wounds. We'll take these one at a time on the Seeker that isn't the Sergeant nearest the Terror Squad. So 3 ups to start. Passed. Passed. Third fails. Okay, so that he does die. 6 more hits to tank. We will look out, sir, all of these. 4 ups. Okay, 3 and 3, so the squad have to take 3, Sergeant has to take 3. However, we'll do these one at a time on the Sergeant first. 2 up armor on Artificer. Passed, passed, passed. Lovely, so he survives. And then 3 more on the squad. Oh, yeah. No, so 1 more Seeker drops.
2 wounds means 2 deflagrates. That's 2 more saves for the White Scars.
Okay, closest model is the Sergeant. Bit of an odd way around to do it, but we'll take these on the Sergeant's Artificer. There we go, as soon as we try and tank him, he dies. And 1 more, 3 up, passed. Definitely losing 25%, over 50%. We are leadership check on the Seekers, 8 or below. That is just on the nose.
For the Night Lord's second shooting attack, the second Terror Squad is going to fire its Volkite into the Breachers. Once more, 16 shots. Alright, there's a 1-1. 5 misses, re-roll the 1. So, 5 misses. That's 11 hits. Wounding on 3s. Two 1s to re-roll. And a 2. Classic. That is 9 wounds on the Breachers.
9 more wounds. These are onto the Breachers, so just 3 up armor saves. We got 6 before we get to a Sergeant, so I'll just do the first 6. 1 dies, so I'll do the next 3. 2 die, so 2 die overall.
2 deaths means 2 more deflagrates, wounding on 3s. It's 2 more wounds, 2 more saves.
Okay, 2 3 ups, 1 more die, so 3 overall. That front rank is felled. Also, having lost 25%, we need a morale check on the Breachers. 9 or under. Oh, that is a 10. We are really not doing well with these morale checks. So we are running 7 inches.
Final part of the Night Lord's shooting phase, the Terminators are going to engage the Seeker Squad. Starting with the Sergeant's Combi Plasma. That's 2 hits. 2 other Terminators have got Combi Plasmas. That's 1 miss, but so that is 5 Combi Plas hits. They're going to be killing on 2s. So 1 failed to wound. That's 4 saves, but the Seekers do get cover.
Okay, yeah, we looked at it and agreed it's very light cover, but they get a 6 up intervening cover save, so we'll see if any can be saved. No, all go through, and that will wipe the squad before any other shooting is needed.
Night Lords, end of turn 3. Very pleased with that turn. The Terror squads have done great work. The first squad came back in from reserve. They did serious damage to the Seeker squad here. The second Terror squad has managed to break the breachers who are running for their lives and are left in control of the center of the board here. In the corner, the Terminator squad and the Delegatus have wiped out the other Seekers who've done a lot of damage. It's looking pretty rosy for turn 3, but we may not be able to win this.
White Scars turn 4, and wow, we started turn 3 with pretty heavy numerical superiority, quite comfortable, and that turn just absolutely devastated us. So the turn, the breachers luckily rallied. We were really worried about that. We could have lost the Warlord and a whole unit. So they have just consolidated 3 inches backwards around that destroyed objective. They're going to sit in this corner, and the Terror Marines, I'm sure, will come after them, but they will hopefully stay undercover for one more turn. The Seekers that lost 3 of their squad just turned around. They know they can't escape. They won't be able to get away fast enough. And there's no kill points, so they're going to fire. They've got a single combi plas, and they'll try some specialist ammunition to that unit of Terror Marines. If we're very lucky, maybe we can drop enough to make them break and run. Looking like man of the match, the solo veteran Marine that stayed alive moved 6 inches and will bring himself into range of this third objective. He'll see if he can throw a grenade and maybe charge at the end of the turn. White Scars turn 4 shooting, and those 2 Seekers leveled their guns. The Seeker without a combi weapon shot the specialist ammunition Tempest shells, rapid fired 2 blasts, clipped 6 Terror Marines overall. So we are wounding on 5s at strength 3. Ooh, that's pretty good. 3 wounds, however, at start, and then shred for Zone Mortalis, 1 more. So 4 wounding hits to start.
It's happily 4 models in the Terror squad before we get to the Sergeant, so 4 saves. Failed one of those. That's 1 model removed.
Next up, the Seeker with the combi plasma will rapid fire 2 shots. Classic 1 miss, 1 hit, so we need to roll an armor save. Passed, that's great. And then 2 to wound the Night Lord. That is a wound, so 1 more Night Lord dies.
So the White Scar Seekers have managed to inflict enough casualties for the Terror Marines to have to take a morale check. That is a failure on an 11. So they're going to flee 2d6, which might immediately take them off the board. I think it's going to take them off the board, right? Yep, 6 inches. Done.
End of the shooting phase there. Really amazing work by the Seekers to drive that Terror squad off. Those 2 Marines have saved the day, figuratively and literally. We'll move on to the assault phase. White Scars turn 4 assault phase, and all we have is the lone veteran. We chose not to shoot him, as it were, with a crack grenade in the shooting phase, because we did blow up the objective. We quite like to use it to leapfrog, as it were, forwards with the charge. So we have a 4-inch charge into the objective. That is an 8. He makes it happily. Moving straight into combat, we have a single crack grenade. We need a 5 or a 6 to glance it. That is a 3. Unfortunate. He'll have to try again next turn. End of turn 4 for White Scars. Really not bad at all. The stars of the show were those 2 Seekers. They managed to bravely stand their ground and then make the Night Lords flee. We still have this big nasty unit, and if they move towards our Breacher squad, we could be looking at our Warlord being in threat. However, we have killed 2 objectives. Our champion veteran Marine is working his way through that 3rd one, and the nasty Night Lords Terminator unit are far away on the other side of the board, and hopefully that should mean we're out of their threat range.
Night Lords, turn 4 movement. We've definitely swung back towards, oh crap. The Terror squad is moving forwards. They've got to try and finish off these breachers and these Seekers if I've got a chance of winning this. The Terminators and the Delegatus are moving up to see if they can possibly reach this veteran. If it goes to turn 6, it may happen. Night Lords, turn 4 shooting phase. The Terror squad have managed to get a bead on these breachers. One of them has no shot, but the rest leave 7 Volkites, which is 14 attacks. Hitting on 3s, re-rolling any 1s. So that is 3 misses, 2 1s to re-roll. Cocked, but 4 misses. That takes me down to 10 hits. Wounding on 3s, re-rolling the 1s. Once more with the 2s. So that's 8 hits. 7 wounds.
Alright, slightly awkwardly, we only have 1 before the sergeant, so 3 up armors, 1 at a time. Well, that was easy. He's dead straight away. Can't be faffed with lookout sirs. We're just going to tank these 1 at a time on the artificer armor. 1, 2, yeah, he's dead on the second shot. So then we are 2 more before we get to the delegatus. 3 up armors. Double 1. Wow, okay. And then we'll tank this 1 at a time on the delegatus. Artificer armor passed. And passed.
4 dead means 4 deflagrates, wounding on 3s. 2 2s again, so 2 more wounds.
Okay, we'll carry on tanking this on the artificer armor, see what we can do. Saved and saved.
4 dead means a morale check for the White Scars breaches.
Okay, once more, 9 or under. Oh, I saw a 5, but luckily we're only on a 7. That's all good.
The Terminators nearest the second destroyed objective have run. Thanks to the Warlord's Master of the Vanguard, they get to do a 5-inch move, and they're trying to close in on that veteran. Night Lords turn 4 assault. The Terror Squad is going to try an extremely long charge. We think it's 9 inches, but first the White Scars get to make a reaction.
Okay, let's see if we can pass one of these. That's about the 5th one we failed. Well, no worries. These are 7 shots hitting on 6s. No hits, so that's nice and easy to work out.
That's nice. The White Scars are 9 inches away. Let's see what we do. It's an 8. Pretty sure that's not going to be in. Night Lords, end of turn 4. The Terror Squad managed to do some serious damage to the Breacher unit, which is unfortunately still on the table, which means it's looking increasingly unlikely that we might manage to clinch this. The Terminator Squad is still moving forwards, desperately rushing to stop the destruction of the final reactor.
White Scars turn 5 movement, potentially last turn of the game, and all the action is in this corner right here. The 2 Seekers remaining moved up, and they're going to try and draw their guns on this nasty Terror Squad. A little bit cheeky, but the Delegatus has detached from that Breacher unit, and we're going to try shooting into the enemy, and then possibly a charge, and split the charge, so we only suffer Overwatch on one of those units, and hope the Delegatus can make it in and do some damage in melee. Other than that, we're going to see if our brave veteran can kill this final objective. White Scars turn 4 shooting phase, and we are going to start with the Seekers. They are going to fire into the Terror Marines. 4 shots. All hit, that's really good news. Strength 4, 4 to wound. Oh wow, 4 wounding hits. This might do some work.
4 saves for the Terror Marines. 2 failures. The Terror Marines have failed 2 saves. Unfortunately for the Seekers, there's only 1 that's visible. So that's 1 casualty and 1 wasted wound.
Next up, we have the Breachers. They're going to fire 3 bolt pistols with a view of possibly charging later in the turn. So 3 shots, all 3 hit. That's great news. Force to wound. 2 wounds.
2 wounds on the Terror Squad, 3 ups, both passed.
Lovely. And last, the Delegatus has a bolt pistol. Hits, force to wound, no wounds. White Scars turn 4 assault phase, and we're going straight into the charge onto the Terror Marines. We are going to start with the Breachers, declaring first, so they will suffer the Overwatch.
Terror Marines get to make a reaction fire attack, which, true to form, I fail. Nonetheless, that is 14 Volkites. I'm looking for 6s, but I do get to re-roll the 1s. I'll re-roll these 2.
2 out of the dice tray, getting exciting here.
So that's 2 hits and 3 1s. Astoundingly, that is 4 hits. 4 hits. I need a 3 to wound, re-rolling the 1s. 3 wounds, 3 saves for the Breachers. This could finish them.
Okay, so then it might kill the squad. 3 ups, all passed. Lovely.
Tanked them.
Okay, it's a 4-inch charge for the Breachers, made, and a 6-inch charge for the Delegatus, made. Both on a 7 and 8. Start of the combat, we have to take some fear checks. The Breachers on an 8, they pass, and the Delegatus on a 9 also passes. Starting at Initiative 5, the Delegatus challenged the Sergeant of the Terror Marines, and he stepped up and accepted. So we have 4 attacks on the charge. Initiative 5, hitting on 3s. 2 misses. We do have a Master Crafted on this unit, so that is 3 hits. And then we are 3s to wound. Double 1, but swift action. We love this rule. Moved full 6, we get to reroll. Still 2 fails, but that kills the Sergeant at Initiative 5, so that's not too bad. Next up at Initiative 4, we have 6 attacks from the 3 breaches, hitting on 4s. That is 4 hits, that is statistically probable. 4s to wound, no wins. That's not surprising.
Night Lord Terror Squad, hitting on 3s, re-rolling the 1s. The Night Lord Terror Squad is attacking with 9 attacks against the breaches. That is 2 1s to re-roll, 2 misses, and the re-rolls. 1 more miss. That is 6 wounds for the Night Lords. They are going to be wounding on 3s, thanks to Talent for Murder, and they get to reroll the 1s. Get a 1, that's great. Reroll that. Still a 1. That is 5 wounds, 5 saves on the breaches.
Okay, no Sergeant, so just 3 ups all at once. We failed 2, so 2 breaches go down.
The other 2 Terror Marines are going to put their attacks into the Delegatus. That's 6 attacks in total. He is weapon skill 5, but Talent for Murder means that they're going to be hitting on 3s. The 2 is a miss, but I get to reroll the 1. That is 5 hits. I'm wounding on 3s. Rolled a 2. 4 wounds on the Delegatus.
Okay, 2 up our Artificer Armor. Oh, we failed 1. Okay, that he takes a wound. End of the combat. We went in with a lot of confidence there, but bounced off slightly. We lose the combat by 2. So we have to take 2 separate checks. The breaches, or the breacher rather, needs a 6 to stay in combat, passes, and the Delegatus needs a 7 to stay in combat. That is a 9, so he is running. He doesn't get run down, however, so that's not too bad. He runs 6 inches. Lastly, we have the amazing ongoing combat between the veteran and the objective. Single crack grenade, 5 to glance. It's a 4. It's getting closer each time, but nothing yet. End of White Scars turn 5. That could have been our last turn. That overall was pretty rough. We have 5 models left on the turn, but technically quite good overall. That breach of staying in combat means those Terror Marines probably kill him next turn, but they won't be able to empty their guns into the Delegatus and kill him. The lone veteran probably will stay alive to the end of the game unless we end up on a turn 6 and might be able to kill that objective. So hopefully we won't be tabled, and we should have done enough to at least push for the win, but it is coming right down to the wire. Those Terror Marines are really scary in almost every single circumstance.
Night Lords, turn 5, movement and shooting, because there's not much left on the board. The Terminators have moved and run collectively for 9 inches. They still might be in the game if we go to turn 6. Night Lords, turn 5 assault. The Terror Marines are going to gang up on that poor lone breacher. Let's see if he survives. First things first, the breacher's got to take a fear check. Let's see how brave he is.
Oh, no worries. Yeah, 4. He loves it.
Passes easily.
We'll swing in with the breacher first just for fun. A single attack hitting on 4s. Yeah, there we go. Hits. Fails to wound, unfortunate.
18 attacks from the Terror Marines back. We are hitting on 3s thanks to Talent for Murder and re-rolling the 1s. That's a lot of 2s. Actually, not that bad. 3 2s, 1 1, re-roll that. It's a 1 again. So that is 14 hits. We are going to be wounding on 3s and re-rolling the 1s. That's 1 more 2, 2 more 2s, 3 1s, get to re-roll those. Another 2 there. That is 11 wounds on the lone breacher Marine.
11 3-up armor saves. Easy. Come on. It doesn't do too bad, actually. He only failed 3.
Pretty close.
But failed 3 and he dies. So the Night Lords get to consolidate.
Night Lords consolidate 6 inches.
End of the turn 5 for both players. So we need to roll for variable game length. A 2. Wow. Okay. So it ends on turn 5 as per game 1. That's interesting. We'll add up the victory points. We're really not sure who's in the lead. So we'll add them up and get back to you.
A swingy 5-turn game there for your pleasure. White Scars, Night Lords. Gents, what do you got?
I'm exhausted.
Yeah, it's hot.
That was swingy. I think we used it a couple of times before the turn, but game of two halves, it felt completely at different points. Completely, if you'd asked me what the end of the game was going to be at different points, it would have been completely different. So almost at the end of every turn, which is, I think, a sign of a good Heresy game.
Yeah,
I wouldn't even say it was a game of two halves. I mean, it was a game of like 10 halves.
5 halves, yeah, possibly.
Every other turn, it seemed like there was a new upset.
Yeah, just bizarre. And I don't think I've ever had as much of a game of reserves outflanking reserves, which is really fun to see. So,
yeah, there was a lot of movement through this board. 2 objectives destroyed and 1 defended, and there's stuff all over the place. And again, you used the whole board as well, didn't you? So it looked pretty good. Shall we go on to victory points? We'll start with the White Scars. White Scars secured 2 objectives and first blood, I believe. Is that right?
Yeah, wiped that Terror Squad unit early in the game.
Oof! So that put them on 3. But the Night Lords defended 1 of their objectives, lost 2, of course, and managed to slay the Warlord. So final score 3 to the White Scars, 2 to the Night Lords. So we're level pegging.
1 apiece, yeah.
Game apiece.
Game 3 is going to be the decider, which is exactly how we want it. It's going to be really exciting. But yeah, that Warlord running in the last turn of the game got you the Warlord kill, was it? Because he wasn't dead, but he was running. So yeah. Again, also, I don't think I've failed as many morale checks ever these last couple of games.
We haven't passed a reaction fire check yet.
Yeah, we have maybe only passed 1, but we keep rolling 5s and 6s, which is great normally. But yeah, the Overwatch in this campaign for Zone Mortalis has been awful, which is nice in some ways. It's nice if you're charging.
Yeah,
absolutely. Julian, tell me a little bit about your game. Your Terminators are still alive, so you obviously didn't roll a load of 1s. So
no, it came in pretty close. The Terminators, it turned out, were just outclassing everything that was on their side of the board. The Seekers did do quite a lot of damage. That was a 6-man squad.
Okay.
So they've lost 2, and the Delegatus did take that wound, but they've just stormed through it all. We think, having counted this up, it ended on turn 5, but actually it was a done thing. I didn't have enough models left on the board to really finish off the White Scars, which was the only way I could have won.
Yeah, okay. With the 2 objectives killed already, the only way it could have finished was a tabling, and the Terminators wouldn't have got enough movement to get round and kill that lone veteran, and the Terran Marines couldn't have killed the other 2 squads remaining. So in 1 turn, so it would have been a draw. It would have been a win either way. So not too hard done by the variable game length, which is always nice.
Good stuff. All right, and looking on to game 3, what have you got in store?
Ooh, it's a bit of a special one. We've got an escape mission, as it were. So the White Scars have come in. We've sabotaged the reactors of the Night Lords who've claimed the facility in the first game. So the facility might be suffering some sort of breach.
Super critical event.
All right, sounds good.
Something, along those lines. So if any of you have played the Battle for Kauth, Betrayal of Kauth, box set, first mission with a sort of running towards an objective, we're basing it loosely off that. So we'll keep it tight for the next game. But it's going to be a movement game, and as we've seen in the last couple of games, actually, these 2 legions are pretty movement focused, actually, and it's going to be a sort of objective movement based game rather than a straight up kill fest. A bit of more of a story mission, so it's going to be fun.
Right. And points? What points value are you going to?
1250.
Okay.
So I'm going to go to 1250, and I'm going to be bringing some jump packs.
Oh, nice. Perfect for a movement type game. So that'd be pretty cool. All right. Really looking forward to that. Gents, any final words from you 2?
If I can seize next game for the hat trick, I think it's a channel record. I quite like that. That'd be fun.
All right, well, my thanks to Boris and Julian for another cracking game, part 2 of their 3-part series. Boris, if we need to find your exploits, where can we find you?
Instagram, pack_paints.
Fantastic. And as always, the channel is at 30k channel. Julian, not enjoying the love on Instagram?
I've got an account. I use it to follow everyone.
Okay.
And I don't post pictures. I could start, I guess.
Sleeper cell, almost.
Yeah.
All right, that'll do.
I like to keep my eyes open.
Exactly. All right, we hope to see you in part 3.